Before your son leaves home, this might be one of your last chances to really connect. Summer is almost here, and whether your teen is graduating, working, or home from college, this window matters more than we think. In this episode, we're talking about how to vacation with your teen boys in a way that actually brings you closer. Not more stress, not more conflict, but real connection, real memories, and time you'll never regret taking. Welcome to Raising Boys with Purpose, a Christian parenting podcast for moms raising teens and young adult sons. I'm Brooke, a boy mom and parenting coach, and here we talk about raising sons, building character, and preparing our boys for adulthood with confidence and faith. Now, before we jump in, if you're enjoying the podcast and it's encouraging you, I'd love for you to subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. And if you're looking for a community of moms who are learning how to raise boys into young men, I'd love to invite you to join us in the Raising Boys with Purpose Facebook group. You'll find the link in the description. It's a space for encouragement, real conversations, and support because you're not meant to figure this out alone. Vacations can be so much fun, but let's be honest, they can also come with a little bit of stress. We want to get away, but we have to schedule time off work, prepare everything at home, and as our boys get older, we're not just planning around ourselves anymore. We're working around their schedules too. Jobs, activities, friends, it's not as simple as when they were little and we could just say, we're going. But even with all of that, the reward can be so good because something really special happens when we step away from our day-to-day lives. The distractions fall away, the routines loosen up, and we get this rare opportunity to just be together, to laugh, to talk, to experience something new side by side. This is our chance to strengthen those family bonds and to get to know our sons on a new level. But with different ages, personalities, and interests, how do we actually create a vacation that everyone enjoys? As our boys were growing up, most of our family vacations were road trips. A lot of times we planned them around visiting family out of state, but as they got older, those trips started to evolve. We began adding in different stops, driving from state to state, exploring new towns, and seeing new sites. My husband loves history, so we would go from one historical site to the next, trying to make it fun for the kids and for us. And as the boys grew, the trips became more adventurous, more active. They were boys, and honestly, that suited me just fine because I'm not really one to sit on the beach all day. We were usually on the go. Go, go, go. And we would come home just tired, but in the best way. Just full from everything we had experienced together. Then when our oldest was graduating from high school, we decided to do something different. We wanted to celebrate in a bigger way. So we planned a family vacation and we invited extended family and friends. We planned it a year out, and the only kind of trip that seemed to work for all the different ages was a cruise. And that's when our love for cruises really started. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends, there was truly something for everyone. It felt like a celebration and a family reunion all in one. We had so much fun, and it's one of those trips we still talk about today. So when it comes to planning a vacation with your teens, how do you create something that everyone will actually enjoy? Something you look back on together and just smile. It might take a little more thought and planning, but it's so worth it. First, remember, your budget doesn't determine your enjoyment. A staycation can be just as meaningful as an expensive trip. There are so many things to explore right where we live. We just don't always think to look. We once lived in the middle of the U.S., and they had one of the best children's zoos I'd ever been to. It was incredible. I wouldn't have known about it if we hadn't gone looking. My mom is actually amazing at this. She can find things in an area that I've never even heard of, and people are always in awe of what she comes up with. So if you're not sure what's around you, ask. Ask friends, check your local Facebook groups, and do a little digging. And also, be willing to go with the flow, because sometimes the things that don't go as planned end up being the things you remember the most. I remember one time we had a housing mix-up and couldn't find anywhere to stay. It was stressful in that moment, but we figured it out. And some of the conversations and jokes that came out of that are still things we laugh about today. Some of our biggest mistakes on vacation have actually become our best memories. And as you start planning, invite your teens into the process. They're older now. They have opinions, preferences, and schedules. So talk with them. What did they want to do? What sounds fun to them? On one of our trips, we were planning excursions. They wanted to go four-wheeling on the beach, and I wanted to do a nature walk with the animals. And it worked out. We were able to do both at different stops. And what I loved about that was that everyone felt heard. When your kids have a voice in the planning, something shifts. They're not just going along. They're invested. They're excited because they're part of it. And there's another layer here that we don't always think about. This is also a chance to teach life skills. Planning a trip involves budgeting, organizing, decision-making. It's real life. I remember when my nephew graduated from high school, he and his dad planned a road trip together. His dad gave him a budget and let him handle the details. He chose the stops, made the arrangements, and figured it all out. Of course, his dad was there to guide him if needed, but the responsibility was his. And I remember thinking, what a great way to learn. What a fun, hands-on way to build confidence and independence. And all of this brings me back to something we've all heard before. The days are long, but the years are short. And it is so true. This time with our teens, watching them grow into young adults, it goes by faster than we think. And these moments, these shared experiences, help shape the relationships we'll have with them as adults. Whether your vacation is big or small, close to home or far away, it's an opportunity to connect, to laugh, to talk, to create something together that you'll carry with you long after the trip is over. So if you've been thinking about taking a vacation with your teen, this is your encouragement to do it. Don't get stuck on the budget. Don't overthink all the details. Big or small, this is your chance to step away from the everyday and really connect with your son. Some of our favorite memories didn't come from big, elaborate trips. They came from simple days where we explored our own area, treated our home like a hotel, and just went on little adventures together. Every moment becomes part of your story. And one day, those are the stories you'll look back on, and so will your son. So take the trip. Make the memories. You won't regret it. If this episode of Raising Boys with Purpose encouraged you, please like this video and subscribe so you don't miss future episodes of this podcast. And if you're raising a teen or young adult son and want encouragement and practical guidance, come join us in the Raising Boys with Purpose Facebook community. The link is below. Thanks for being here today. Now grab your iced coffee, hug your son, and remember, you're raising him with purpose.